He looked out his window and saw her, his maid, sitting on the back steps, eating her lunch in the pouring rain. She didn't complain. She didn't move. She just smiled. Under the storeman, in that single moment, the billionaire's heart finally woke up. The rain fell hard, Dad. Morning. Gray skies pressed low against the city's glass towers, turning every reflection into a blur of light and shadow. Inside one of those towers, 37 stories up, Alexander Crane, a billionaire known for his ruthless efficiency, sat behind his desk, untouched by the world outside. He had everything: the cars, the company, the corner office with a view that swallowed the skyline, but he hadn't noticed the weather. Not until he glanced down through the sheets of rain and saw something he wasn't supposed to. In the courtyard below, near the service entrance of his mansion, sat Maria, his maid. She was sitting on the back steps, her uniform soaked through, eating a small meal from a paper box. No umbrella, no cover, just rain and silence. She wasn't crying. She wasn't complaining. She just sat there quietly, taking small bites, her eyes half closed, as if even the rain couldn't wash away her peace. For a moment, Alexander frowned. Why doesn't she go inside? He muttered, but deep down, something in him stirred, something that hadn't moved in years. Maria had worked for Alexander for nearly 7 years. To him, she was efficient, reliable, invisible. The laundry was always folded, the house spotless, the coffee strong. He never once asked where she came from, never noticed that she always brought her own lunch. Never saw that she arrived an hour early just to clean the front steps before anyone else woke up. She was just the maid, and yet, at that moment, sitting in the rain, she was something else entirely. That night, the image haunted him. He tried to drown it out with work, with numbers, with the endless noise of success, but every time he closed his eyes, he saw her again, soaked, calm, and quietly eating in the storm. The next morning, he asked his house manager, why was Maria outside in the rain yesterday? The manager blinked. Oh, she didn't want to eat inside the kitchen, sir. Said she didn't want to disturb the chefs. He frowned. It's her break. Yes, sir, the manager said softly. But she's respectful like that. Respectful. That word hit him like a weight. He built an empire on respect, demanded it from everyone, but he'd never given it to the people who worked for him. Later that day, Alexander walked through the mansion quietly. For once, without his phone, without the rush. He found Maria in the laundry room, humming a soft tune, folding his shirts with careful hands. He watched her for a moment before speaking. Maria, he said, why didn't you eat inside yesterday? She froze, startled. Oh, I didn't think it was allowed. Sir. It's your house too, he said without thinking. She smiled faintly. No, sir. This house is yours. I just helped keep it warm. Her words stopped him cold. He looked around. Marble floors, silver chandeliers, walls that echoed when no one spoke. And for the first time, he realized she was right. His house wasn't warm. It was cold, silent, empty. That night, Alexander couldn't sleep. He walked through the halls, past the paintings, past the luxury he once thought meant everything. Then he went outside. The rain had returned, softer this time, and there, by the same back steps, sat Maria again, her lunchbox in her lap, a shawl around her shoulders, eating quietly. He approached her slowly. Maria? She jumped slightly. Mr. Crane! I'm sorry, I'll move. He stopped her. No, don't, for the first time. He sat down beside her, right there on the cold, wet step. The rain pattered softly between them. He looked at her simple meal: rice, beans, and a small piece of bread. Is that all you brought? He asked. She smiled. It's enough. Enough. He single quotes. Spent his entire life chasing more. But that one word, enough, hit him harder than any deal ever had. As they sat there, Maria told him her story. She came from a small town, left her children behind with her sister to work in the city. Every paycheck she sent home paid for school uniforms, medicine, and groceries. She'd miss birthdays, miss Christmas, missed her son's graduation. Also, her family could have the life she never did. I used to cry about it, she said softly, watching the rain fall, but one day I realized I can either cry about what I don't have or smile for what I can still give. Her words cracked. Something open in him, something long buried beneath. Money and power. He remembered his own mother, how she used to save the best piece of bread for him when they were poor. He remembered the rain leaking through their roof, how she'd laugh and say, "Let's pretend it's music." He hadn't thought about her in years. The next day, everything changed when Maria arrived for work. She found a table set in the staff room, warm food unnoted, and a brand new umbrella. The note read, "No, one who works this hard should eat alone. Thank you for reminding me what matters." Maria wept, but the biggest change wasn't the umbrella. It was Alexander. He began spending time with his staff. He asked their names, their stories, their dreams. He doubled their wages, created scholarship funds for their children, and redesigned the mansion's policies, breaks, meals, and respect for everyone equally. And one evening, as the sun set after a storm, Maria found him sitting outside again. Same step. Same rain. She smiled. "You'll catch a cold, sir." He chuckled. "Maybe, but at least I'll remember what it feels like to be human. She handed him a cup of tea. He looked at her. Then out at the wet horizon. "It's strange," he said quietly. "I've built everything money can buy. But this peace, it's the first thing I didn't have to pay for." Maria nodded. "That's because peace doesn't live in walls, sir. It lives in hearts." Months later, Maria's son graduated from university with honors. Alexander attended the ceremony, quietly sitting in the back when her son walked across the stage. Maria turned, eyes glistening. "Thank you, Mr. Crane," she whispered. He smiled softly. "Don't thank me. Thank the rain." Alexander Crane's story reminds us that success without empathy is failure in disguise, that the richest hearts are often hidden behind humble hands, and that sometimes it takes a storm to wash the blindness from our eyes, because in the end, true wealth isn't measured by what you have. It's measured by what you finally see. If this story touched your heart, share it. Comment where you're watching from. And tell us, have you ever had a moment that made you see life differently? Subscribe for more cinematic stories that celebrate humility, kindness, and humanity's quiet heroes.